I'm Kat, and we've got the lovely Claire back again.
Hello.
Which is great. And we are still on the fire element, but the second round, because it's the magical element with 4 meridians associated to it. So we're going for the heart protector and triple heater a little bit more today. We also have the lovely Sarah on the chat, so any questions she'll field them our way and answer some too. But it's lovely to have you all here this morning, even if you're catching up, if you couldn't come to the live session. Hello.
Yeah,
Great.
from the past.
Yes.
Hi to Lynn and Liz.
Oh, lovely. That's great. So yes, say hello in the chat.
Joan.
How we're doing?
I'm Joan and Simonetta,
Yes.
Gillian, Rosso and James. Oh, wow.
Great, loads of people in. That's wonderful. So before we get utterly going, I will just have a little share of the slides of what we've done already and where we're at. So at the end of February, we worked the heart protector and triple heater on the physical level, connecting in with the point triple heater or triple burner 15. Then we moved to the emotional level, heart protector 3, that nice one. Get around here, around the elbow. I think that's right. I'm sure, terrible with my numbers. And then this week, because we're into March, we're on the 6th of March, we're working with the mental level or the mind. And our point of the week is heart protector 9. So I'm just going to stop sharing that for now, and we'll find point of the week a little bit later when we do some self-shiatsu and touch together. Cool. So I'll stop sharing that. And before we tune in with a scan, I'm just going to share this poll with how are you coping? I think I know which one I'd click. Truth be told, I'd be in the stress camp today. But that happens. Even us therapists get stressed out.
Yeah, but it's great because we do experience everything like everyone else, obviously. But then that means you can understand more what people are going through when they come, don't they?
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, okay. Here we are.
Oh, it's nice. Lots of neutrals.
Lots of neutrals, but quite a few of you stressed or very stressed. So hopefully, I'm sure by 11 o'clock, we'll feel a lot more calm and at ease, and maybe shifting out from our mind a little bit more and back into the body. Great. Thank you for doing that. That's wonderful. Ooh, everyone from everywhere. Look, Rome, France, Greece, Somerset, Vienna.
International.
Love it. Great. Yeah. So if we maybe if we come to an easy sitting place, you can do that on a chair if you want. I'm going to sit on a little cushion and kneel, but you can do whatever feels comfortable for you. And if you want to close your eyes, if that's okay, you can. If you're feeling a little fidgety or not a bit restless, I'll get my words out today. You might want to keep your eyes open a little bit, but with a soft gaze, so we don't have to look so intently outwards. So just starting to draw in on ourselves. And you can have your hands resting on your legs, or if it feels comfortable, I particularly like one hand on the chest and one hand on the belly, but you can do whatever feels good. And we're just going to notice our breath, where it is in the body, even if it's sitting high or maybe it's a bit low and the upper part's quiet. Not necessarily changing it, just noticing. Lovely. maybe from here, as we're in this state of just watching, it's kind of like witnessing ourselves. So witnessing our breath and how it is. Maybe we can do that with scanning the body or noticing. So you don't have to use this photocopier scan. Maybe it's just picturing your whole auric egg with yourself in it and just noticing anything that's going on there. Maybe you want to move your hands, that's okay. So just noticing. Maybe it's that you're fidgety, or maybe your mind's whirling. Maybe it's a physical thing of tightness or tension. Again, not necessarily changing it, we're just noticing. Ah, great. So from here, if you've got your hands resting on your body somewhere, we'll just relax the hands again. And if we've got our eyes closed, we'll gently open them. Hello, anyone who's just joined. So I wanted to just share another little poll before we do some interesting things, I think, more experimental. I'm going to share, if I can find it. Oh, here it is. I think Claire and I looked at what we should tune into today. And even though it's on the mental level that we're working with today, which one of these emotions do you feel most often? So we'll do that. So maybe in the last week or few days, is there an emotion that's appeared for you the most? Yeah, worry. Ooh, lots of worry. Worry, sadness, and fear is coming up. Yeah. And again, I think you're right, Claire, like whatever you do, I don't think it's a bad thing that we feel these emotions. It makes us very human. But it's when we kind of get stuck in them and then these emotions manifest into physical or into things on the mental level. So we want to make sure that, yes, we can feel fear, and that helps us to either rest or drive forward with something. Sadness helps us to kind of be present in the moment and then maybe let go of things a little bit more.
Maybe withdraw.
Exactly.
Sadness.
Yeah. And worry. Obviously, we worry for lots of things. But again, that might also help us to either get things done or to help one another when we worry about one another.
And it's often a practice, isn't it? Because you can worry and you're not realising you're worrying. You're like, oh, am I going to get to school, do the school run on time? Am I going to, I'm worrying a lot. And then you can come back to yourself.
Yeah. Oh, James, have felt positive emotions too.
That's good.
Brilliant. Yes.
Was there an option for that? There wasn't, was there? So yeah.
It's tricky, isn't it? Because even though there's things like fear, I think sometimes that can be positive too. So maybe fear of getting eaten by the lion, you're going to run to escape it, and it's kind of a positive thing that fear's kicked in. Because it means you've not been eaten.
Otherwise you might have been eaten by the lion.
Yeah, for an example.
But they do say, don't they, that fear can be like excitement without the breath.
Yes.
So I'm actually really noticing that myself at the moment. Just this kind of, sometimes for myself I can be a bit like up here. And I'm like, oh, am I fearful? And I am, I think. It's a kind of pattern, but that can turn to excitement. They're quite a similar energy.
Great. All right. So I think from here, fear helps us to protect ourselves. Yes, it does. Yeah. It really does. So maybe from here, I'm going to pass over to Claire, and we're going to do some fun,
some wacky stuff.
Some wacky stuff. But bear with, anytime you need to rest or do less, lie down, sit down, take a breather. But we're going to have a little play within the mental level of the fire element.
Yes. Great. Thank you, Kat. So what I thought we'd do, so basically, if we have a wacky is great. If you have a fire imbalance, or just in general anyway, the fire element loves stillness. And in our daily lives, there's often a lot of mental work to be done, just because of the way our society's built up. So that can be hard to remember what stillness feels like. And the other thing I was going to say is that often we were doing the poll of the strong emotions. And often, if there's a strong emotion, like anger or something we're kind of ignoring, what I've noticed in other people and in myself is that can lead to a busier mind. So sometimes helping ourselves to be calmer can mean listening to what your emotional climate is. But what we're going to do, I don't know how you're feeling mentally. You might have been rushing to get here, rushing to do stuff before here, or you might have just come out of bed and be in a really great place. Whatever you're feeling, and we're going to just stand up.
I'll come over here.
Yeah. So what I'm going to invite you to do, and I'm sorry, we're not going to do this for very long. It's just to feel this feeling and get the contrast of it. So maybe pick a time when you were like really, really in your mind and you were rushing. Maybe you had a lot of worries going on or a lot of fear, and you were so up here. You might even had a painful knee, but you couldn't tell because you're so up here. This sort of thing. So really get into that feeling.
I've just gone giddy straight to like.
I'm going to try expressing it because often we're rushing around, but we have to be very contained, even though we're very busy here. Or we might be sitting at our laptop, but very busy here, and still with our body. So we're just going to express that feeling of like busy mind, too much to do, too much to think about. So ready, steady, go.
So into the body.
Into your body, yeah. So express it with your body. So it might be really frustrating. Is it really frustrating? Oh.
No, it just makes me manic.
Well, no one was manic on the.
Maybe it's just me.
Oh, that's terrible. You might want to shake it off. Okay.
The hysterical laughter is actually one of the signs of a heart imbalance.
Yeah.
Maybe I've got some of that.
Okay. I think that's probably enough of that.
Yeah, please.
But thank you for taking part in that. And what I'm wondering is, where did you feel that most in your body? For me, it was here, a little bit up in my upper belly, upper hara.
I've got it a little bit, in the chest, but in the sacrum as well.
Yeah,
like,
did you?
It's like my giggles came from here.
Yeah.
But I think it is probably in fear or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're going to take a few deep breaths. So 3 deep breaths. Let that go, what we've just done. That's brilliant. And now we're going to bring to mind the complete opposite of that experience. So we're really in the moment. And I think we all have things in our lives that help us be in the moment. For me, I remember reading Eckhart Tolle. That really cemented that feeling of the here and now. And maybe you have something like the yoga that you do.
Yeah. The most I've ever felt that was, I remember a couple of years back, I took a week off just to stay at home. And it's so vivid. I just remember pegging out washing on the washing line outside, and that's all I was doing. I didn't think of anything else. And I just remember really holding this pink towel and putting one peg on, and that's all I was thinking about. And I was like, oh, that's nice.
And suddenly life is glorious and beautiful, and you notice all the little colours and the little sounds. So now we're going to do just a really short Wuji. I'll guide you through it. And again, that's all we're doing, like picking out clothes. We're just going to be just standing. So feet about shoulder width apart. The outside of the feet are parallel. Just sort of bend your knees slightly, and it's like you're sitting on a bar stool. Shoulders back. You might want to close your eyes. And then put your hands at the front. Open lagom, that's that part there. And you can release your spine, so release your head up towards the heavens. And we're just standing. And try and bring to mind that feeling of being at peace in the moment. And just remember about gravity, allow it to help you sink your energy, your Qi, down into your hara. Okay, so that's brilliant. So you can just come out of that, straighten up, open your eyes. Might want to stretch a little bit. And just shake yourself off a little bit. Okay, I hope you feel a bit calmer in contrast to the first exercise.
That was lovely, Claire. Thank you. Yeah. How are we doing on the chat? We'll stay standing for a minute. Yeah, Reiki male, young ones vibes. Yes. Oh, Rick Mail. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So you felt it. That's interesting. So when we were doing the busyness.
Yeah.
Arms, chest, head. Yeah, head of course.
Yeah.
Chest and upper back, upper body.
Yeah.
Rick Mail, young one vibes.
Love that.
In your legs as well, yeah. And the chest.
Great. So yeah, if we'll stay standing. You can do this sitting on a chair as well. So if we stay in that lovely state of, maybe it's a practice that you could tune into, either breath work or a feeling that you get with Qi Gong, or maybe like me, it's hanging out the washing. So we've got this lovely quality still, and we're just going to very gently move the body, really easy, into some circles and spirals, just to help. And maybe if we start with the fingers, so just having the fingers move in whatever kind of direction or quickness or slowness, doing whatever feels good. And we're just sending all this lovely chi and blood around all the joints, and it can work into the hands and the wrists. So we're helping that wonderful circulation of chi and blood. But all we're doing is hanging out the washing, or maybe we're just doing our breathing into the wrists and then the forearms. You can just play with that. Maybe it's resting, or maybe it feels okay to bring the arms up a little higher into the elbows. Lovely. Nothing to do but breathe and circle. A little bit into the upper arms and the shoulders. You might yawn, or you might feel the breath start to change. So the fingertips can still move, wrists, elbows. Maybe it's that feeling of sunshine on your skin and you're just absorbing all that lovely stuff in to nourish us. Lovely. And we can keep the arms going, but how is it? Or you can rest the arms, that we move into the shoulder girdle, heart center and rib cage. So our wonderful ribs start just underneath the collarbone, and the same at the back. And they move all the way down to where the diaphragm is, and at the back of the body, including around the side, so we can make maybe some space under the armpits. So we're just seeing what movement there is, even if it feels a little stiff. Maybe it's okay to put a hand on the chest to encourage the wonderful rib cage to move. Maybe one on the back to do what feels good. You can keep your arms still or keep them moving. Do as much or as little as you want to. And then how is it to start to send that down the vertebrae? Maybe spiraling and circling the belly or into the hips. And it can be small, subtle circles and spirals, or maybe you want to move your feet much bigger. Get those movements nice and juicy. Great. Lovely. And if it doesn't make us too dizzy, so maybe we can bring the legs back in underneath, and maybe there's just a little gentle circling. How is it if maybe we join the circles to the neck and the head? So we've got a little bit of the tailbone moving, and then the head. But if you're feeling dizzy, maybe you want to keep the head a little bit more still. Easy breath. We're still hanging out the washing, still breathing, or tapping into that lovely quality we've just had with that lovely practice that Claire's shared. And maybe you want to keep your head rolling, or maybe it's okay to be a bit more still. And how is it to roll that into the knees? So we're sending these spirals and circles all the way down the body, so a little bit more into the knees, and maybe it's coming into the ankles, so we can lift the heel up. Maybe we can alternate. We're rolling, we can come onto the heels a little bit. Woo. Can use all edges of our feet. Yeah. Sending that lovely chi and blood all the way around the body, all the way to the little toe, tip of the nose, in the armpits, under the chin. Lovely. Easy breath.
Nice foot massage there.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Wonderful. And then maybe if you want to, just have a little moment to kind of explore, or maybe you feel really good just to stand. Oh, excuse me a minute. But maybe you just want to do kind of spirals, circles everywhere. Yeah, you might want to move your feet so you're moving in space. Maybe you're hanging over like Claire. Maybe you want to be a little bit more still and just doing tiny circles and spirals. Oh, wonderful. And then we're just going to gently let that ebb away, just to come to standing again. So take your time to let it settle. You know, sometimes, I don't know about you, but if I go to a class or something and it's like, okay, and stop that, and you're like, whoa there.
Yeah, it's like a momentum needs to
Yeah. So we can really take our time to allow the spirals, circles to settle. Things take time to settle sometimes. Ah, lovely. And then we're just going to stand just for a moment. Nothing to do but breathe. Breathe, and maybe having even if it's on the inside, having a little smile to yourself. Like, yeah, here I am. There's nothing else to do. Lovely. So if we've got our eyes closed, you might want to start to gently open them. And then from here, I thought we could come and sit for a little bit. And you can sit on a chair or some cushions. Let's just see how everyone's doing. Yeah, nothing in the chat. You've been circling. I thought you had. That's wonderful. All right.
That was really nice, Kat.
Yeah.
I feel like that nice movement, I feel like fresh. Yeah. Like the feeling of when you've drunk like fresh spring water or something. That was nice.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's like very satisfying. Yeah, when you've drank something and you feel satisfied. Yeah.
Stretched.
Wonderful. So I thought from here we could do a little bit of work around the face, connecting in. So heart protector channel, there's a lovely extension. You know, don't worry about it too much, but it comes to the throat. There's also the heart underneath the chin. You know, if anyone feels awkward in conversation or in public, kind of this thing tends to happen, or if someone's a bit worried or emotionally doesn't want to connect, some people kind of hold there. I've caught myself doing that sometimes. I'm like, yeah, what do you think about that, Kat?
I don't quite want to say what I think about that.
There you see. So we can connect in here and just gently open it up to what's comfortable with us. I'm going to work down into the heart center and find our wonderful point of the week on the tips of our middle fingers.
So So Lynn feeling really emotional and tired and sad when we started, but now better. Well done. Yeah, it's often when we stop, isn't it? When there's stillness and focus on ourselves, that the emotions can come up.
Yeah, that's it. Great. We're going to whip these glasses off. And so this week, I realised that the amount of times we do the feet first and then find some lovely point on the face. So I thought, let's not use footy hands on our face to begin with. We will find that lovely kidney one right at the end. So it's helping to settle us. So I know it's not the heart channel, but the more we are embodied and more grounded and settled, the heart can house more comfortably within us. And that helps, obviously, the heart protector and the triple heater. So if we take our hands and give them a good old rub together, create some chi and energy. Wonderful. And then we're just going to rest them on the front of our face. I'll turn sideways so you can kind of see. So we're resting them over the eyes. Maybe you want to drop the elbows down on the chest and rest the head in the hands, covering the eyes to begin with. Even if there's still thoughts swirling around, maybe they're just gently pouring out the top of your head. Don't need them anymore. Send them out and away. And then from here, you might want to stay here for a bit. Just going to allow the head to come back up a little bit. And we're just going to use the palms of the hands into the face. Just kind of a firm but soft press. I always imagine like the same quality of like warm compost that you put in a flower pot. So you want to press this lovely, warm, nourishing compost in, helping to nourish our blood, so all the way down the front of the face. Maybe you want to go around the side where the jaw is, relaxing the mouth and the tongue. Maybe taking a hold of the ears, so I've got my thumbs down the backs of the ears, kind of giving them a nice squeeze all the way to the lobes. Great. And then we're going to have a little trace under the jaw and finding this lovely spot under the chin. So I'm going to use my thumbs. I'll tilt my head up so you can see. Thumbs underneath and fingertips on the bottom part of the jaw where your teeth are. And we're just going to move along. So you might want to hold and squeeze and press. Or maybe it's kind of moving the fingertips a lot more. So do whatever feels comfortable for you. And the thumb is sending a little pressure upwards until we get all the way to the chin. And the thumbs are underneath the chin there. And then back out again. So we're just going to do this once more. Lovely. It's actually hard to do when you're talking. All the way to the chin. And then we're going to come back out again. Take your time. Oh, lovely. And then from here, once you've worked your way all the way back out, just underneath the ears, maybe either tapping or kind of stroking down from the ear side. This connects into our triple heater. So maybe stroking here or gently, gently tapping downwards. Do what feels good. And then from here, this time we will just stroke downwards. We're going to come to the front of the throat, stroking down around that heart protector. Lovely. All the way down to the chest.
Oh, it is lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. Actually, I just felt like a wave of stuff run down my back. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you felt something entirely different. So all the way to the sternum, the heart center. Lovely. And then we're going to find that compost pressing again with the hands around the chest. So in this, imagine we're wearing our lovely sweetheart
bra.
That's it. And maybe sweetheart dress. Yes, fellas, you can get that sweetheart line as well. So it's drawing a lovely heart shape across the top there. So we're pressing into the chest, that lovely compost. Yeah, into the sides. We'll do one arm and then the other. So we're just going to open up one arm and we're going to go right down the midline. We found that before on the heart protector another week. So just pressing down into the elbow, right down the midline, all the way to the wrist, into the palm. Oh, that lovely warm compost press all the way to the end, the tip of the middle finger. Yeah. Let's do that again on the same side. So into the chest. Oh, thinking about that heart center, nourishing ourselves, getting a little more embodied and grounded into the palm of the hand, all the way to the tip of the middle finger. Wonderful. And we're going to do the same the other side. Might feel much different. Maybe you need to slow it down or speed it up. Or maybe there's a spot where it's like, that feels really good. I'm just going to stay there for a bit. Just going to allow my right elbow to drink that up a little bit more. All the way into the palm, straight down the midline to the end of the tip of the middle finger. We'll do the same again on the second side. Oh, yeah. Sending some lovely, nourishing Qi into this area. Wonderful. Great. And then just for a moment, we're going to come to point of the week. You've actually already pressed it. Just for a moment, how is it? If we place the hands in a lovely prayer position, or just a little way away from the chest so there's some space. And then just to take a nice breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Lovely. We can take one more if that feels good. Breathing in. So we're lighting it up this channel and breathing out. Super. And gently releasing the hands. Opening the eyes if they were closed. I'm going to share point of the week, which we have just found. Sometimes it's nice to feel the quality of it first before looking at the theory and what it's good for. So here we are. I'm going to skip through the slides, but we can have a little look and a recap. So we've had our triple heater 15 on the kind of back top of the shoulder. We've had our pericardium 3 or heart protector 3. It's got two names just to confuse. So pericardium would be in Western terms and heart protector in Chinese medicine. And here we are right on the end of the channel. So it is on both hands, right down the midline of the middle finger. I think it's 0.1 of a sun away from the nail. So it's kind of right on the tip of the middle finger. And it's called middle rushing, as it says on the slides. Zhong Chong. It relates to the heart because it protects the heart. So it clears heart heat, which can connect in with shock and if there's any loss of consciousness. There's some really nice books here. Actually, thank you, Claire. So I'll keep this slide up for a moment.
You can keep massaging it while you listen if you like. It's nice, isn't it?
It is. So either, holding it ever so gently or maybe kind of rubbing it a little bit. And that feels very nice. So yeah, middle rushing. It's well and wood point, so the water and wood point of the pericardium channel or the heart protector. Yes, there we are. It's located 0.1 unit, which is your thumb's width, radial from the corner of the third fingernail. So basically, yes, right on the tip of your middle finger. It's got a lovely image. So I'm reading from our usual book, Images and Functions of Points. The name refers to this point's location at the terminus of the pericardium channel and the place where the channel Qi or Qi penetrates internally. So most of our radial points, the furthest away, connect deepest in our body. The middle may indicate its location on the third finger, as well as its location between the other yin channels of the arm. It does all sorts of things. What have you got in your acupuncture book there?
Well, it's interesting. It says you can use it in the treatment with children if they're crying at night time, and also if they've got a nutritional impairment. And I was just pointing out how interesting the points on the nail, because this is the only one that's right on the edge, because often they're this side, aren't they?
Yeah, or they're on the lower corner, some points of nails to one side, but this one's right in the middle.
So
Its other functions are, I'll read from this book, it regulates the heart, especially the Qi and the Yang. So when we get particularly busy in our mind.
We all know how that feels now.
Yeah, I got the giggles.
Good response though, isn't it? To being mentally overloaded.
Yeah. It clears heat, heart fire, heat and summer heat. This point benefits the tongue. So I've had some Floridex and I've got a nice Floridex tongue. It relieves consciousness and restores collapsed yang. So maybe when we're being overdoing it and we're absolutely exhausted, this point will help too.
And it was saying here in regards to the tongue, things like if you've got pain at the root of the tongue underneath, and also if there's problems with I've lost where it says it now, but inability to speak. So it underlines that intimate relationship between the heart and the tongue.
Yes. There's also other indications, like if there's connection to like chest or gastric pain. So if we get any tummy upset, if we're stressed or feeling emotionally worn out, this point's really good for helping to ease the stomach and the chest pains or digestive issues too.
Do you know, it's interesting how, I wonder if any of you massage this point when you're just going about your life, because I think we all have, I know for me, even before I studied Shiatsu, there was places on my body that I would always sort of touch, and I have that with a lot of my clients. They say, well, that's interesting. I often massage that place.
Yeah.
I wonder if any of you have had that with this point. Anyway.
Great.
Oh, that's nice to hear that it's a healing space for you all. Having emotions come up and feeling better now.
Great. Lovely. So we'll do, which way around should we do it? Maybe just to help really integrate, I'm going to swap it round and we're going to work our feet. And then we'll end with a short meditation and a little reading from this book that I tend to bring with me, Environmental Arts Therapy in the Tree of Life. So we'll come to that. So if you want to sit on the floor or sit on a chair, please do. I'm going to wiggle back so you can see my feet. You might want to rub your hands again. Oh,
we've gone a bit dizzy.
Yeah. So see what feels good for you. I like to take a hold of one foot over the leg, but maybe you want to keep one on the floor. If you're sitting on a chair, maybe it's crossing one leg over. If you can't reach your feet, find a tennis ball, or I think someone once went and found a very firm apple, something with some firmness to it, and rolling it underneath the sole of the foot. So there's plenty of ways to find our feet, or maybe there's a lovely person at home. So giving a big old squeeze, just a general squeeze, waking up the feet a little bit. So,
sorry.
Oh yeah, go for it.
I was going to say, of course, that brings you back into your body as well if you're very busy in your mind.
Yes. So maybe around the ankle and the heel. We've got a lovely, what's it called? Calcaneus of a bone, the heel bone. Lovely. And then maybe just seeing like which direction your foot moves in. Wiggle, giving it a little wiggle. Maybe taking a hold of each toe, giving them either a squeeze, or maybe you want to wiggle them. Saying hello to your toes. And that's all we're doing, breathing and tuning into our feet. And then on this foot, whichever one you've got, we're going to find that lovely kidney one. So I'm just going to raise my foot between the second toe, so big toe's number one, second toe towards the little toe and the third one. There's space between the second and third, underneath the sole ball of the foot, kind of in the middle. Oh, there's that lovely point. Maybe you just need to hold it if your foot's feeling tender with just the palm of your hand and sending some breath and Qi in. I don't know, today mine feels like it needs a good old pummel. So do what feels good for you. Oh yeah, it does. It's funny that sometimes I feel like it needs to be a bit more gentle, but I think today it needs a good old squish. Brilliant. Hey. Super. All right, so we'll gently pop that foot down or releasing it, and we're gonna, they feel much better, very different.
Yes.
So let's move to the other foot. Again, just giving a squeeze, or maybe you're swapping to put the tennis ball or apple underneath your toes. So just giving a general squish. And with the tennis ball, if you have got that, you can actually rest to find kidney one. You can rest the foot over the tennis ball to get in contact with that lovely foot gate. So giving a nice squeeze of the whole foot. Maybe seeing which direction the foot wants to move in or can move in, including the heel bone, the sole of the foot, and then squeezing or wiggling each toe. There might be a toe that feels really good to take a hold of. You might want to stay there for a bit. And then in your own time, coming to find kidney one, same thing on the other foot, second and third toe, metatarsal gap underneath the ball of the foot. And maybe your other foot will probably need something different. So my left foot needed a right good squidge, but this one wants to be a bit more still. Maybe you need less pressure or more movement. So do what feels good for each foot. Lovely. All right. And then we're just going to release that. Maybe you can notice how your feet feel. Feel much smoother and happier. Yeah. So whilst we're sitting, again, you can do this on the chair. So I'll grab the chair in a minute. Maybe coming to cross-legged. If that feels uncomfortable on your back, or your hips are quite tight but you want to sit here, you can get things like loads of cushions, like maybe one on each side, and you can kind of fold it up to give support for the legs, or maybe sitting on the cushion. I'll get a chair to demonstrate if we're sitting on a chair.
It's nice if what can help to stop you getting pins and needles if your legs are sort of downward angle. So if you might want to put extra under your bum.
Good tip, I like that. It's true, because sometimes if we're folded back, that's when it kind of nips the blood flow. And
if it's sort of vertical.
That's it. So if we're sitting on a chair, we're just going to make I'd sit further forward just a little bit and make the feet a little bit wider, or cross-legged. And to begin with, we're just going to cross the arms to give ourselves a hug. So we do not have to catch a hold of the shoulder blades around the back. If that is way too tight and you're like, oh, I can't get there, take a hold of the upper arms or the elbows. So hang on, give yourself a nice hug wherever that feels comfortable. We're just going to gently rock, either from side to side, or maybe it's a sway. So we're helping that lovely heart center to open out, easing. Yeah.
It's funny to feel what you feel like to be hugged, or what your hugs feel like.
Yeah. Excuse me. Lovely. And it also helps that bit between the shoulder blades that can get a bit sticky, or it's that annoying bit that you can't quite itch yourself. So it makes a little bit of space and room in there. Brilliant. And then from here, we're going to undo the arms and cross them over the other way, and it will be the way that you wouldn't go first. You're like least comfortable. So when you cross your arms, one way's easier and the other way feels weird. So crossing the way you wouldn't normally, and either rocking very gently side to side, maybe holding a little lower, maybe having a little wiggle in the heart center and rib cage and chest. Settling. Wonderful. Giving ourselves a hug. And then very gently, there's no rush. Just going to gently undo the arms. I'm going to check the time. We've just about got enough time. I thought, what do you think, Claire? A little bit of the Makaho. So the series of movements and stretches for each channel. And this one's for the heart protector and triple heater. Yeah, but it's a really nice one, especially pairing with opening the chest out. So if you cross-legged, you're going to cross your arms the same way your legs are.
So, for example, my left leg is behind, so I'm going to put that one behind. Yeah. And then my right arm is in front, so I'm going to put that one in front.
That's it. And then if you're sitting on a chair, we're just going to keep the knees nice and wide, and we're just going to cross whichever way, and then gently folding over. If that's really uncomfortable, leaning quite far forward, if we're sitting, we can come up higher and rest on the tops of the thighs, and then gently dropping the head down so we can relax that lovely part underneath the chin that we've already connected into. Easy breath. And our sitting bones and tailbone are still rooted to the ground, so we're still connected to that lovely earth. Then as we breathe out, we'll just uncurl, coming back to sitting again, making ourselves a little even. So if you've got your legs crossed, swapping the legs and swapping the arms. So if we're sitting, we're just going to swap the arms, and the same thing again, either holding somewhere on the legs or folding forward to wherever feels comfortable.
It's actually, you might want to get off your cushion actually and
Yeah.
a few more.
That's a good point. See if you can get your sit bones connected. Releasing the head, back of the neck. Maybe seeing how the tongue is inside the mouth too. And then very gently uncurling. There's no rush to come up. Oh, super. Lovely self-hug. Wonderful. So just to wrap up the whole session, I can't believe this hour has gone flying by.
Oh, hard to rock in your arms.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hugging your baby.
Yes. So we can come to sit, or maybe you want to lie down on the ground. So do whatever feels comfortable to you.
While you're drinking, I was going to quickly show them.
Oh, yes.
Oh no, I don't think I told you about this, but because a lot of you were saying about having worry. Someone, I think it was a Japanese model, they associated the thumbs with worry.
Yes.
And if you can hold both your thumbs, it's so comforting. That can really help. If you've got a lot of worry going on.
It's really lovely. I like that. And it's inconspicuous if you're out and about.
Yeah, no one can see.
No one can tell that you're doing something for yourself. Yeah. Not that matters anyway. So just coming to rest, lying down or sitting. I just want to share, if you want to connect in with the hand mudra in yoga, it's the thumb and the top, the tip, our lovely point of the week, connecting together. Yeah. And it's somehow connected in with our Qi because it creates a circle. And in the mudra, it's about promoting life and kind of, what's the word? Totally forgotten it. Prosperity. There we are. So prosperity and health and good life. Because we create this constant circle where it starts and where it ends. Who knows? All the good things. So if you want to sit resting the hands, connecting here. Yeah, good. It's good to have a giggle, hey? So maybe you want to sit with the mudra. Maybe you just want to come and lie down. We're just going to take a breath in and an easy breath out. And I'm going to read from the Environmental Arts Therapy and Tree of Life book by Ian Siddons Hedgensworth. Great long name.
Yeah, it's a really good name.
Yeah. And each chapter is a month. And of course, I'm going to read from March. So you can let these words waft over you. Maybe you just want to sit with that lovely feeling of whatever that was for you, hanging out the washing, not a care in the world, because this is all I'm doing. And I'm just going to read these words about our wonderful March month. Emerging, miracle of miracles. Everywhere we look, little green fists push up and out of the soil and open their hands to touch the sun. Down in the dark dens, the sleepers stretch and yawn. Life begins to creep and hop and scurry once again. Colour returns. The daffodils, golden cups of sunshine, held aloft for all to drink from. The mosses, vibrant green carpets that tempt us down onto the earth. And the first scattering of blossom like soft new snow amongst the hedgerows. Imagine lying on the forest floor, looking up at the trees. See how the canopy of branches above float like islands on an ocean of blue. See how they make maps upon the sky. Perhaps look for your journey there. Allow yourself to settle into stillness. Allow yourself to be. Allow time to pass. Imagine the roots below you. What is emerging in you now? Bubbling up from the roots of your being like a sacred spring. Let it rise, and if it has a voice, let it come. Sing it up to the treetops. Let it play. Let it flower. Let it fly. So if you're lying down, you can just stay there. And I'm not going to put a poll up because it is 11 o'clock. Just want to say thank you all for coming. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you, Kat.
Thank you, Sarah. And yes, thank you for everyone for coming. It's been lovely. I hope you're feeling a lot more kind of grounded and yummy. I am. I was a little hysterical when I arrived. But I hope that was just right. We didn't do too much moving around, but sometimes that's what we need, a little bit of stillness.
Yeah.
So yeah, have a lovely week and we'll see you soon. I will just mention, so not this weekend coming, but the next one is our college weekend. If any of you want to drop in, so if you don't want to do the full year course or diploma, we've opened up our Saturday mornings. It's at the Norwich Wellbeing Centre, 10 till 11 for Qi Gong, a £5, and Sunday morning, some Meridian yoga with me, also just a £5. You don't need to book, just turn up and come and feel some lovely goodness in real time, face to face. If you're in Norwich, come on down.
Lovely.
Cool.
And so yeah, good luck with being still.
Yeah.
Just hanging out the washing.
That's it. And see you soon. Well, I'm going to see if I can find this. Mouse doesn't want to play ball. Brilliant. There it is. Have a lovely rest of your week.